Hello, and welcome to Principles of Fraud Examination. My name is Karen Kukla. I am an adjunct professor of accounting and law and public policy at the Whitman School of Management at Syracuse University. I am an accountant, I am an attorney, I'm a licensed CPA, as well as a lawyer. I am also living proof that all of those things can peacefully coexist in the same body. I say that jokingly, but tongue-in-cheek, because the reality is that the accounting part of my profession involves a degree of analytical skills, and the attorney side of my profession involves much more judgment, much more gray area. The law isn't always as black and white as some would have you believe. In my career, I've held a number of different positions. I worked in the accounting field for 10 years. I was the director of internal audit for a defense contractor. I had an active role in a number of fraud investigations in that position, as well as in previous positions that I held. As an attorney, which I have been practicing law for 20 years, I have also been involved in fraud and fraud cases. Some of those were non-corporate fraud issues. Some of them actually involved fraud within organizations. I've also been asked to advise and counsel clients on fraud prevention programs, fraud prevention techniques, conflicts of interest policies, and just general internal control procedures that an organization can implement in an attempt to help prevent fraud. Much fraud can be prevented. Not all of it, but much of it. Statistics about how much fraud is actually occurring are difficult to get. Okay? However, all signs seem to point that fraud as a matter of activity is increasing both in scope and in activity. Fraud is costly to organizations. Fraud reduces revenue. It reduces income to an organization on a dollar-for-dollar basis. And therefore, that means that the organization has to restore that same amount, if not more money, in order to compensate for what has been taken. This course looks at the nature of occupational fraud, and it looks at fraud abuse in organizations. How and why is occupational fraud occurring? How can fraud be detected? How can fraud be prevented? And what should an organization do if it suspects that there is fraud afoot within its doors? It's my hope that this course will, number one, help you understand why people commit fraud. If you understand why people commit fraud, that will form the basis for then helping you to understand how to commit fraud and how people commit fraud. Once you know that, you can then begin the process of developing a plan that then helps to prevent the fraud. We will talk about some fraud investigation techniques, but though that will be more of an overview, as most of those investigations are best left to the skill of trained professionals. I'm looking forward to spending this semester with you as we talk about the principles of fraud examination.